I can see it's quite interesting. So nobody can spoil you. Maybe the end. There might be different endings. So
Hmm.
it's something you start and you gotta finish on your own.
Right here. Okay. Three, two, one. Hi, my name is Tan, and today is another session of the International English Cafe meeting. Yay! It's Friday evening in the Western Hemisphere, Saturday morning in the Eastern Hemisphere. Today's topic is choose your own adventure. So what we'll do is we'll get into um, reading a story or maybe multiple stories in which you choose your own adventure. What will happen is we will have members read part by part um, the portion of the stories, and at the bottom of each section would be either a choice or a direction of where to go next. And along the way, um, it will deviate to various adventures that we could come upon. So choose one way, you get this one adventure, choose a different way, and then you end up in another adventure. So that's the goal of today's meeting. And then afterwards, we'll have some commentary in which we can talk about the stories and even our own adventures from our personal experiences. Um, so is everyone ready?
Yes, we are ready.
Sounds great. Okay, so would someone like to volunteer to read the first part?
Frank, please, you mean little bit bigger?
Okay, well, I don't know how much bigger I can make this because, um,
Yeah, yeah, it's
Okay.
better.
Uh,
It's
yeah,
better.
okay. So
oh,
we'll go with this first story, Shipwrecked, okay? Um, so Matt, did you want to go first or
okay.
something?
Okay. I'm ready to read.
Okay, here we go.
Here I stopped. Your family decided to take a vacation to the Nepal, right? I don't know how. Mountains, sighting, go, just hiking trails, and the view of the schools with state park. After enjoying walk the park had to offer, you and your family decided to snorkel at the mouth of the Nehaplin River. It's cold, it's windy, but the water is inviting once you are submerged. The river is teeming with dating the coho and sprouts of foliage. But as you explore the waters further away from the river, there is emptiness beneath the surface. Do you swim out further? One, I swim out further, turn to bay three. Two, I swim back, turn to bay four.
Okay, Matt. So what do you think? What do you want to choose? Do you want to choose to swim out and go to page three, or do you want to swim back and go to page four?
Okay, I think step by step, by three.
You want to go to, okay.
Turn, yeah.
Because no, like when it comes to these stories, it's not gonna be page by page. They might jump you all around, right? So okay, you choose to swim out further and go to turn to page three. Got it. So here's what it looks like. Isn't it pretty?
Wow, very nice landscape.
Yeah. Okay, so page three. Would anybody like to read the next section?
Excuse me.
Okay, go ahead.
The vast empty. emptiness of the sea isn't intimidating at all. You continue to swim with your snorkel. It is actually quite peaceful. Notice through swimming in groups, long plants stretching towards the sunlight, and a large rock formation in the middle of it all. The rock formation looks really weird, almost exactly boat shaped. Crazy. Naturally, you drift towards it. It is starting to look really boat shaped. You vaguely remember learning in class about the trading of some watts that the clad sub people have found nearby, and that is what related to a ship. That's a little far out. I swim back. Turn to page 4. I've come this far. I swim out. Turn to page 5.
Okay. So, what do you think? Which page would you like to choose?
Mm,
Do you want to swim back or do you want to keep on going?
should I go going? I
Okay,
think could be better to turn to page 5.
sounds good. Okay, so before we get to page 5, right? Notice they said you notice trout swimming in groups. So when you have a group of fishes, what do you call that? Do you guys know?
It's cool.
One moment. Could you repeat that word? Throw?
Yes.
Throw?
So like if you have a group of fishes, right? Like if you have a bunch of fishes, what do you call that?
That's cool.
Yes. A school of fish. Good
School
job.
of fish.
Right? So like because you have a flock of sheep, a school of fish, a pack of wolves, right? Um, like so that's one of those things about English that's weird, right? Like how do you call the group of something? And in English, they have a very weird way to call a group of bunch of things, like, a pride of lions, right? For example. Um, so, okay, good job. All right. Um, so we're going to turn to page 5, right? So would anybody like to read page 5? Let's see. Mohabbat, look, you're unmuted. Would you like to read this?
Yeah, exactly. For sure.
Okay.
Your family will be fine without you for a little while, and you're not feeling even a bit tired. Tired, eager to move towards to bait, like ship, you kick further out to sea. As you seem, as you swim close, the blurred edges of the strange rock formation begin to resolve, jagged pieces of wood just out into crashing waves, a spray of salt and loam sweeps your face as you inch closer to what was definitely once a boat. A rocket ship towers above you, lying in a large pieces against the wet gray of the rocks it crashed against long ago. Number one, do you enter the wreckage? I don't know, and explore. Turn to page 6. Number two, there could be shark in there. You're out back to shore. Turn to page 7.
Okay. So looks like more of the adventure are coming into play, right? So what do you think? What do you want to choose? Would you want to continue or would you want to go back to the shore?
So I think number one.
Number one, you want to enter the wreckage and explore. Nice.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to turn to page 6. Jason, you raised your hand. Did you want to say something or did you want to read next?
Yes, I want to read, but before that is a little hard. Some words like wreckage, and that is the other one. It's the same. Give me a
Yes.
second, please. I would like to hear you because you pronounce very well that words.
Yes.
Give me a second,
So
please. The another
wreckage.
is wreckage. The another is the blurred H. How do you pronounce that, please?
The which one?
Third line, closer, blurred, the blur,
Blurred.
the blurred, the blurred and
Yeah, to
wreckage.
blur or so blurred.
Blurred. Okay.
Yeah. Um, it comes from the word to blur, which means to make vague, to make not as transparent, to make it kind of like very difficult to see or hazy. So
Okay.
the idea of blurred edges
Blurred
of the
edges.
strange rock formation began to resolve. So what this means is like the character involved from far away was having difficulty seeing the object in front of them, but as they got closer, then the blurriness of it starts to become clearer. So what was blurry to them eventually start to clear up as they got closer to the object.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes,
Yep.
if you want, I can continue reading.
Sure. So we're gonna turn to page 6 and explore the wreckage. Dum dum dum.
The
Um,
wreckage.
let's see. By the way, let's see. Ricardo and Sively, just a heads up for like at some point I'll have you both read too. So hopefully you both will be ready to get reading, okay? Um, so here's a picture of the wreckage,
Very
right?
beautiful.
Yeah. Like it feels like a Bob Ross painting in some instances. Like
Yes.
okay, so page 6. Here we go. Let me scroll up a tad bit more. All right, there we go.
Okay, I will try. You haul yourself up out of the water onto the closest mass of swollen, broken wood, careful to avoid any of the waterlogged planks that groan and sag beneath your hands. You shift your weight slowly until you are crouched on the slope of what must have been part of the deck once. Much of the ship remains submerged, a dark, white shape far below the churning waters. As you move your hand forward towards the highest perch of this shipwreck, you feel a world of textures. Besides the sleek algae, you feel
Algae, yep.
sharp algae,
Algae, yep.
okay. You feel sharp, grainy bits, some smooth and giving. You look down to see a myriad of pieces of something, many somethings, wedged between the cracks of the blankets. You scoop some carefully into your hand. Number one, good thing your swimsuit has pockets. You load them up, turn to page 7. Memories are enough. You will watch the waves for a while and get back before your family notices you're gone. Turn to page 7.
So not really much of a choice. You're gonna go to page 7 anyways. But in this case, do you want to load up your pockets or not?
Yes?
Okay. So submerge. Submerge meaning to put something below water. In a sense. So the idea is like, let's say you have like a pool of water and then you put something into that pool. So it submerges, so that thing is submerged in the water, right? Um, hence why like a submarine, it submerges in the water, right? Something like that. Um, the idea is just like to lower something into the water. So it's not like you dive in or you're jumping in or anything like that. It's this idea of like you're lowering something into it, not necessarily in a diving effect, but just kind of like more gradually, right? Um, or at least it's just stayed on, or just enough that it stays under. In this case, it's submerged, right? So it's used as an adjective, um, or a past participle, something like that. Um, myriad is kind of like a variety. So like see a myriad of pieces. So there's a variety of pieces. Um, algae, right? Algae is basically the green plant-like stuff that kind of like sticks on rocks that makes rocks really slippery. Especially if you have like um, you know, a bunch of breakers in the oceans made of rocks or something like that, or where or like if you're by a lake or something like that, where it's kind of like almost like seaweed, but it's more like it's just stuck to the rock instead of like an actual seaweed. A little bit different, but it's very slippery, which why like um, beside the slick algae, right? Um, and wedge is like when you're trying to stuff into between two different things, or wedge into a hole or wedge into a crack, right? Like you're trying to like it's like it's either stuck in there or it's like it's pushed in there. Um, some so that's kind of like what that is, wedged. Um, but yeah. So we're gonna go to page 7. I guess let's see. Ricardo, you said you want to go next. Ricardo, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Okay, so
Okay,
scrolling
that's
down to,
perfect.
oh, before we get to there. So this is kind of like the idea of what it would look like, right? So I don't think this is as accurate because ideally there should be part of the ship that should be partly underwater, right? This doesn't look like it, but at least this kind of gives you an idea. Like it's an old decrepit ship, and you got to be careful walking because it's kind of slippery. But okay, here we go. Back on shore.
Okay, perfect. Back on the shore, you stretch after your long swim. You begin to trek back to your campsite, but something peeking out of the wet sand catches your eye. You bend down and free it from the sand and pick up a chunk of what seems to be a stone or ceramic. You move the small, rough item around in your hand, exploring its beautifully colored edges. The warm smoothness of either flat side. It seems to be the twin of the smaller fragments wedged between the broken planks of your wreck. What did this little shirt used to be? Who shaped it? What was it used for? And where has it been? How did it come to rest, broken and lovely, up on the shore? One, two, three. You're going to get bottom. Okay, you're going to get the bottom of this. This fragment is a mystery, and you have to find someone to help you solve it. Turn to page 12. I'll bring home this piece. Every vacation needs some small keepsake. Turn to page 10. Memories are enough. You'll leave it there. Turn to page 8. I choose number
Oh,
1. Turn to page 12.
cool. So in this case, you have a lot more choices.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So um, we're going to continue on with this adventure. We're very inquisitive people here. So we're going to get to the bottom of this. Dum dum dum. And yeah, so this is what they paint the picture of what it looks like. A portion insured. So basically a kind of a shrapnel or a a broken portion of this um, on the sand. So from the looks of it, there's more of that in your pockets too, or that you have collected, or at least ideally that's what we chose, right? We chose to collect them. Okay. Sively, are you there? Let's see. So, Sively, are you there? Hi. Microphone issues. Okay, let's see. Hello, Bích Thủy, are you there? Hello.
Hello,
Hi, how are you doing?
good. How are you?
We're doing well. So what we're doing right now is we're doing a reading. This is Choose Your Own Adventures, where what we're going to do is everybody reads a passage, and at the end of each passage, there are choices at the end in which page do you want to go to next, based on whatever the choices you want to make. So right now we're going to jump to page 12.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be okay if you read the next part?
Hmm.
This is just reading, so you'll have something in front of you just to read. You don't actually have to worry about thinking about what to say, since it's just reading what's on the page.
Okay. So, what do we do after reading? Is
After the reading, then we can talk about you know, the adventure that we all had from the reading, and or
mm,
you can talk about your own adventure. There's other additional readings up above just in case this meeting runs too short.
okay.
But like here's the next page. This is page 12. Start with you tell your family.
Mm,
So whenever you're ready, you can start reading. Oh, I mean reading out loud.
oh, I got you.
Yep. Is
So,
this is this too small for you, or do you want it like a little bit larger?
look good. You tell your family all about the ship you had rediscovered and about your fight. Once they initially saw grow up, your grow up were happy that you brought it to their attention. They put you in contact with Austrian state archaeologist George Pauli at 503-480-9164. He thanks he thanks you for letting someone know and tells you about the importance of share, and that's what B was. It's really good thing you spoke up about it. The archaeological record equals crucial to our understanding of the past. You feel warm inside, knowing you did the right thing. John even tell you about the Maritime Ecological Society, a team of ecologists who specialize in shipwreck, I guess.
Mhm.
And I even have a collection of arti- artifacts just like yours to show you. He offered to put you and your growers in touch with them so you can be a part of unmatching mysteries that could be your 40 years old. Mhm.
Okay, sounds good. And then what's the last part? Number one.
So it's turn to page 13.
Uh-huh. Okay. So for yours, there's no choices. It's just only one choice, which is turn to page 13. Um,
Mhm.
but otherwise, pretty good with the reading. Archaeologist or archaeology, archaeological. There you go. Yeah, that's a
Illogical.
so if you're I'm having a tough time with this word too. Don't worry about like if you're trying to pronounce it correctly. It's not
Mhm.
an easy word. See? So I'm giving you example of me trying to pronounce it. It's easiest if it's just archaeology or archaeologist, but
Mhm.
archaeological, like that's that's too much of a mouthful.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's similar and
But overall, good job. Okay, so we're gonna turn to page 13, right? Let's see. Let's see. Civilly, are you still there? Okay. I might have to let's see. Hi, Juan Franco, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, amigo Tank.
That's good to hear.
Hello, bro.
Okay, let's see. So, Sively, last call. Okay. So in accordance to the International English Cafe, I'll need to kick out um, because we do need required participation. It is part of um, the rule of the group. Plus also too, these sessions are recorded for YouTube. We can't just have people just attend and not participate. Um, so um, in any case, since you joined, Juan Franco, we're doing a choose your own adventure reading. So what's happening here is we're reading a story, but in each section of the story, it will have options at the bottom to tell us to go to whichever page after this. So a good example would have been, say, page 7 that Ricardo read. So there's a passage to read, and then after that, he had like up to 3 options, right? So you choose one of the options, and then you go to that page. So that's kind of the idea. So a story like this isn't necessarily supposed to be long to read because you're skipping through the pages to bring you to a different adventure. So depending on your choices, then your adventure will go one way. If you choose a different choice, then your adventure will go a different way, right? So that's the whole idea of how this is written up. So ideally, readings like this should be shorter than was is to be expected, only because we're not reading the entire thing. Um, but in any case, so Bitui was reading page 12 and it told her to go to page 13. So Juan Franco, would you like to read the next section?
Yes, yes, yes. Thank.
Okay. So the next section, so before we go, these are the shirts and the beeswax that was found by the main character, right? And basically he informed his parents, which then they informed the Archaeological Society to be able to look into this. And they're like, oh, hey, like since you found more of these shards, we'll have you join in on the unveiling or unmasking of this mystery. So page 13, here we go. Boop. All right. Start from there.
Okay, get it. Okay, after your experience with John Paul, you'll feel the warm glow of belonging within yourself. You present an artifact and genuine, real piece of history to people who can help tell an story hundreds of years old using your little ceramic shared piece to gather events from far before you were born. Maybe this is a start or something new for you. This little this little fragment of stone or ceramic has brought you into a whole new world. One you can be a part of your art, a part of the archaeological record and true steward of the history of your community and part of something bigger than yourself. The history dance in here this only the beginning.
Okay, so the story doesn't end here. This is only the beginning. And
But for example, the stone it's very important.
yeah, so what they're talking about is they're talking about this stuff.
Ah,
See?
okay.
So looks like they found something and it's a piece of history that traces
Uh,
back to something that's before you were born. So that's kind of the
uh,
idea.
I think the only ceramic is very important.
Yeah. Well, because like the beeswax, like ideally what this is, right? Um, I don't know if this is what they're intending for, but sometimes something's so this is stamped in beeswax. I guess it's the stamping that is important, or else it's the beeswax itself is important. I don't know.
Mm,
Um, because sometimes some things that are frozen in beeswax contains DNA.
mhm.
Let's say it's DNA of a dinosaur.
Oh,
And then you take that DNA and then you make a dinosaur, like
yeah,
Jurassic Park,
yeah, yeah.
right? Or it could just be just the stamp on the beeswax itself because of the design and the culture that is involved, right? It could be that. Um,
Mm,
I don't know what it is, it's exactly, but that's there. This is the end of the story for this part of it. All right.
mhm.
Um, Seems like there's more stuff to it. Oh, yeah, because looks like other portions of the story would have made us go back. Yeah, like other parts of the story would have had like us jumping around,
Mm,
I think. Yeah. So looks like this is just the end of the story. Had we chose a different way, it might have gone us to took us to all these other pages below, which will eventually push us back to the end. But yeah, so cool beans. So I'm going to unshare the screen for the time being. What do you guys think so far? This is like a story where like it just jumped us around, right? And we ended up going into like it wasn't anything too dangerous from the looks of things, right? Um, the whole thing was that um you found some items on a shipwreck and it led to a discovery, an archaeological discovery. Um, had we taken a different path, maybe we would have seen more drama. Who knows? But what do you guys think about the reading? And is there any adventures you would like to talk about that you would like to talk about?
Okay, I would like to share with all of you that I didn't pass for this type of adventures. I consider it could be very, very interesting. Not only in the past, maybe currently, because you can find very, very interesting things on the sea, on the ocean. Not only physical things, maybe creators, strange creators.
Hmm.
If I were maritime person, just these people that ship the are the chiefs of the of these of these boats. How do you say? These ships is very interesting. I would like
Yes.
to go to uh, Arctic or North Polo.
Yeah.
The North Polo, yes, like Antarctica. It would be very, very amazing and very interesting, to be honest. You can find a lot of interesting things there. I hear some time ago that if you want to go there, some governments maybe would not allow you to do that. I don't know why. Some restrictions there. Maybe they discovered something strange, and for that reason, they cannot. We go there.
That or else too, if you go there, you, especially without supervision, then bad things may happen because you might be considered a threat and they might take out the threat. But in any case, cool. Let's see. Um, Anybody else like to have any comments on this story or like just maybe stories in general about your own journey and whatever it may be? Is there anything that you learned or like you feel like you picked up, like maybe new
Well,
vocabularies?
can I say a little bit?
Go ahead.
Thank you. Actually, I think it helped me um, lonely my speaking and reading book as well. To be honest, that I'm really to reading book for myself, but I think it's good chance for me to read a little bit on the contents. But I think it's um, full for me to more understand about English and whatever reading book or speaking or whatever talk different. I
Hmm.
think it helped me and everyone we improve day by day. Um, yes, that's my opinion. Thank you very much, Thanh.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. Anybody else would like to comment or say anything?
You raise your hand.
Mm,
Okay,
I'm
Ricardo.
just
Oh, go ahead with Twee.
I mean, I'm just wondering about the choices. Like whenever you have three choices, is it like every choice it go continuously about the previous story, or it's just random timeline?
It will
I
it
d-
will it will bring you to a different part of the story. So in the
Yeah,
one sense, you can consider it as like a different timeline, um, or you can consider it as like a different path to your adventure.
yeah. But what I mean is different part of my adventure. Is it continuously with the previous part? Like it's connected to the previous part in some sense, where it continues the adventure, or it's just a new story.
So let's say, for example, right, like this is the part that Ricardo had three choices. So he chose to turn to page 12. Let's
It's
say that
all
instead of page 12, he went to page 8, right? So page 8 would be the next page after this, page 8. So then as you walk back to your family, you grin to yourself. The sound of swirling waters from the dilapidated decks filled your ears, and the memories of your secret discovery lies in your heart. Tomorrow you'll tell someone about the incredible adventure. You found an entire ship lost for centuries, and you were the one who found it. Tomorrow you will tell the world and share a piece of history. Generations of people after will know the stories or the ship story, and they'll have you in part to thank. For tonight, the secret of the lost shipwreck is yours and yours alone. Turn to page 9. And then you go to page 9, um, and it says the end here, right? So,
oh,
right? So this would be a different
so
ending
I see. So you choosing different part, go with different ending, and then you read it until the end.
until you get to a end, right? Because not all the endings
Oh,
is just the same ending. A lot of the endings are different
oh.
endings. Yeah.
Okay, I guess the idea.
Yep. Um, so the reason why I was choosing something like this is because um, there are, like, when I was growing up reading these stories, they had like a Goosebumps choose your own adventure type stories. So this was part of a horror genre, or like, so basically ghosts and demons and goblins and that kind of genre, right? So you basically are in a situation and the monster's chasing after you, and then you need to figure out what to do. And if you choose a bad choice, you die. Or if you choose a good choice, then you get to live, right? So it was one of those books when I was younger. So I figured um, we'll do something similar, except not with that genre, because sometimes people might be afraid of the horror genre. So just try to find something that might be a little bit more, um, not too not too much of a thriller. But that's a good question to ask. So hopefully that gives you an idea of like how some of these stories turns out. Okay, Ricardo, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing you mentioned right now. Basically, this is quite interesting the way you can have options to see what's next. So
Yes.
that's quite interesting. It's like you have to merge into the story, but you have to be curious about it because if you're not, because there was an option that was like come back, and I was like, no, I don't think that might be something good. You need to find out.
Yep.
So there's no way back. It's like you keep reading, and it keeps catching you until you decide what might be the ending. For example, the part I read, it was quite interesting because I was trying to merge in something that is about to be discovered, but I was not the one who read the page 12. But yeah, I can see it's quite interesting. So nobody can spoil you maybe the end. There might be different endings. So
Hmm.
it's something you start and you gotta finish on your own. So that's quite interesting for me.
Cool beans. Um, okay. So Juan Franco, did you have any particular thoughts about the reading?
Yes, for me, it's very important the history, but I remember one book and say the the history make the winners, no? Only the winners.
Okay.
And maybe the history exists many lies in the history, no? But it's important. It's important you see the history and try to maybe you see good things in the history,
Yeah,
no?
that makes
But
sense.
it's very important the history, your country or my country. I think the history give the base for the future, your country.
Yep. All right. For me, something I found curious is this part right here. So you can be a part of unmasking a mystery that could be 400 years old. This happened in Oregon. If you did the math, 2026, or I don't know, when was this written? I'm assuming this was written like back in maybe 2000. I don't know. Uh, I was scrolling up and down to see if I could find when was this written. Um, yeah, so I can't find where this was written. But nonetheless, let's get back to that part again, right? So let's assume that this was written in 2000. That means ideally these shards and beeswax would have been about the 1600s. So 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue, but basically he got only the eastern side. Oregon's on the western side. What's going on, right? So was this something built by, or was this something, were these fragments from the Native Americans? Maybe, maybe not. Don't know, right? But if these shards are actually true to the story, right? This looks like Chinese porcelain. So in terms of exploration of the world, around the time of Columbus, right? You had the Vikings that came to the Americas before Columbus. You also had the Chinese come to the Americas before Columbus on the other side. Um, so there's a likelihood that this could actually be Chinese related objects when Chinese explorers came to the US. Although, they might not have been as successful as, say, Columbus. Uh, they may have perished by the time they got to the Americas. Or maybe they got back and were not interested on the land just because it didn't seem like there was nothing there for them, right? Um, but yeah, so that's the kind of the first thought that kind of come into my mind. Because if this could be 400 years old, that's dating back to the 1600s, which by that point there wouldn't have been Chinese explorers, if I understood this correctly. Like historically speaking, Chinese explorers would have been before Columbus. And since Columbus was 1492, uh, they would have been before that time. But they would have been after the Vikings. So the Vikings would have been, I don't remember what time period that was, but it would have been between that time period, right? Other than that, it could be the indigenous people who created this. Although to have something pottery this refined, no offense, this looks like porcelain from China versus like what indigenous people could have created. Indigenous people would have created something that looks like a different artistic art style, from my understanding. But this is the thing that kind of pointed out to me. Plus, two, it's maritime archaeological findings, right? So this is so it's not something that was on the land, but this was out in the sea. So plausible idea.
Words collide like fiddles hum, every accent's welcome some. International English Cafe. Talk your troubles right away, sip your tea, let stories play at the International English Cafe. We don't need no passport stamp, just a cozy corner lamp. Face to face we find the way in a little cafe day after day. Maps and charts might trace the globe, but here we spin our own wardrobe. Patchwork lives with thread we weave, stories told when you believe. At the International English Cafe, words align like fiddles hum. At the International English Cafe, words collide like fiddles hum. Every accent's welcome some. Round a table dreams are shared. Across the world and love is air. Our love is air. Across the world and love is air. Across the world and love is air. English Cafe. We don't need no passport stamp, just a cozy corner lamp. Face to face we find the way in a little cafe day after day. Maps and charts might trace the globe, but here we spin our own wardrobe. Here's your face, we find the way in a little cafe day after day after day. Maps and charts might trace the globe, but here we spin our own wardrobe. But here we spin our own wardrobe. But here we spin our own wardrobe. Patchwork little cafe day. Hey, accent charts might trace the globe. We don't need no passport stamp, just a cozy corner lamp. Face to face we find the way in a little cafe day after day. Maps and charts might trace the globe, but here we spin our own wardrobe. But here we spin our own wardrobe. Patchwork lives with thread we weave.